What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd.
Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. But before we jump into our first topic, let's do the old shot. Cheers.
Ugh.
Wow.
And let's talk about a couple of things coming up. First off, if you want to become a premium subscriber, head on over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. Get member exclusive merch, behind the scenes, bonus content like our pre-show warm-ups. If you ever ask yourself, how are these guys so fucking funny? It's because we drink, and that's it. You just need alcohol. You only need alcohol to have fun. That's what I learned growing up.
Same.
No, but we talk about random topics.
Gen Z. Or no, we're millennials. My bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You wish that we were Gen Z. Shut the fuck up. But this week, we talked about Ouija boards for like 15 minutes of that hour-long conversation that is up on our Buy Me a Coffee. Go check it out. It's lots of fun. What else, Jake? What's coming up? In case people
shit, I thought that
don't
one
know
was you
about
too.
this.
I'm so sorry. If we haven't beat this into your head enough, that's what my dad uses.
I didn't have to
Just
say
kidding.
it. Thank you.
We will be at Twin Cities Con in Minneapolis, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. Please, please, please come visit us. Even if you don't want to see us, there are going to be actual famous people there that you can go see. And then maybe just give us a wave and a crop dust when you pass our table.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about the amount of crop dusting that we're gonna get.
Dusts. Yeah, so many.
But that
we'll
means that
be
we can fart freely and just blame it on, be like, I think that dude farted.
That guy just farted. Yeah. So know that if you don't say hi to us, we're gonna blame you for farts. But no, we're gonna be doing some trivia. We'll be doing some live streams, some giveaways. We'll also be selling some stuff. We are working hard over here from the past couple weeks up until Twin Cities Con to get some really cool merch for all of you. So please, whether you're there for us or not, come say hi. You will not leave our booth empty-handed.
Yeah.
I won't let you. I'll take your wallet and buy stuff for you.
You might even walk away with a belly with a shot in it. And then we'll give you some tequila to make it feel better. Well, how else are we going to get the wallets?
Gross.
You know? Oh, you went sexual.
What did you mean? What did you mean?
Pew pew.
Oh, I
like
thought you meant...
we rob them by shooting them in the stomach. And
I
then
thought
take
you
their
meant
wallet.
like cum shit.
No, those are for the back.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, this episode, yeah, it's going.
You're here.
It's a bummer because I'm really excited for our first topic. We got really nerdy about it off camera to the point where we kind of started a fight online with random people.
No, it was all pretty friendly.
Yeah,
the
but we just
conversation.
pointed out
Nobody
how
like.
dumb they were.
Well, we didn't. No, we didn't.
We
no,
just
we didn't.
we didn't use the words "you're dumb," but we used logic, and then they didn't respond anymore.
Logic in a superhero. Whatever. Anyways, come see us, please, please, please. November 8th, 9th, and 10th, and we will jump into our first topic now. Go ahead. I know it says me, but you already started talking about it, so.
Well, Superman and Lois, the final season is out now. They did a 2-episode premiere last week. And fuck, I love this show. Just first and foremost.
It's no
Spoiler
Smallville,
alert.
but it's pretty good.
I watched Smallville much later in life because you hounded me about it for probably... I don't think I started watching until we were already 2 years into the podcast.
Yeah, because you didn't give it a shot until name drop Ken Knutson said that he liked the show, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, I'll give it a go." And I was like, "You dick! I've been telling you for like 2 years to watch that."
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I know that's exactly what happened. I called you up for it.
You did. You were right. It was more of I needed an unbiased third party to tell me as well.
Yep.
You know, that's all that it really was. Not because I don't trust you, especially your taste. Because you've been right about most things, like tequila.
Yeah,
That's it.
You were on that catch fire trip for a while.
Yeah,
You haven't had me fooled for a little bit.
it worked for a little bit.
So we went to New York, and I was like, tequila. And you were like, "Oh, dude, I can't do tequila." And I was like, "Come on, tequila." And you're like, "Ooh, I love tequila."
I loved tequila before that. I just had too many throwing up in people's cars moments where I was like,
one too many?
that's all it takes when it's the day that they bought a car and it was a fucking collector item. All it takes is one for that. And I was like, I need to reevaluate my drinking habits.
Well, before getting back on track here, before we go any further, spoiler alert, as always.
That's plenty of time, yeah.
This is the last season. It's only going to be 10 episodes. They dropped the first 2, like Chad said, back to back. Where we saw Clark, a.k.a. Superman, a.k.a. Winnie the Bish, was fighting Doomsday. Basically in space, like on the moon and shit. And
then on Mars, and then in the asteroid belt. It was...
Well, that was when they picked it back up. At the end of season 3, they just show them on the moon, like going at each other.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all over the place. They're all over the space. And I'm gonna kill myself now.
Oh, what's in your closet, Jake?
Not a 12 gauge shotgun.
Crickets.
With. Anyways.
Yeah, that got dark fast. I'm sorry.
What did you just say about me?
Nothing.
Oh,
we are. We're both half of the bag
I'm
already.
trying. You're killing me.
I'm sorry. Well, because there's a big thing. I mean, it's basically all of episode 2. So the first one, Superman's in space. Oh, you like that? Fighting Doomsday. What do you think about? Because we've now seen. Is this the third live action Doomsday we've seen?
Well, live action, but
yeah, there.
What
do you think of how he looks?
I honestly, okay, so this would be the 4th, because there was
Batman v Superman,
Smallville, this show, and fuck. Give me a sec.
Cool.
Give me a sec. God damn it. Was it? No, maybe he wasn't in that. I was gonna say Krypton, but I don't think he was in that actually. Anyway, my bad. Probably
No.
3. maybe 4. I only watched Krypton one time. Anyways, I think Smallville nailed it the best. Um, Fucking Batman versus Superman, Doomsday
The worst.
uh looked like one of the Ninja Turtles from the Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Um, and then this one looks like Abomination from The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. One.
Before the webbed ears and shit, but like in The Incredible Hulk,
Yeah.
when Ed Norton's Hulk fights him, he just looks exactly like that, only with a Superman symbol on his chest.
Yeah. Um.
Doesn't look bad, just not the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
I think look wise, unfortunately, what Smallville did was they just didn't do that storyline super well, which is kind of a
It was
bummer.
such a slow build with
Yeah.
Sam Whitmer's
But they
character.
nailed it how he looked.
Yeah.
That's how Doomsday looks, and they killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the end, and we haven't seen Doomsday since, because he's not dead. Towards the end of the first episode, we saw a little bit more of like the spike growth, the spiky eyebrows, and stuff like that.
Mm.
Like we did, kind of like what Batman v Superman did. Is you saw him like get bigger, more brutal looking, more monstrous. But I feel like this at least was closer to the source material instead of
Well, I think
deciding if
what
they
they
wanted
did
to be
really well,
Raphael or Michelangelo.
I think what they all did really well, including Smallville, Batman versus Superman, and Superman and Lois, is that they show that. So the whole thing with Doomsday is that Doomsday was built as a weapon,
Hmm.
right? And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So every time Doomsday is, say, if you stab Doomsday, right? Um, he can then regenerate from that, and if you try to stab him again, you can't kill him that way again.
Yeah,
And that's where that growth comes from. So every time you hurt him in a certain way, he becomes stronger to that way that you hurt him. And
hmm,
that's why he's such a scary like villain, is that he gets stronger with everything that you hurt him with. Even
yeah,
like I think Smallville did it really well where they tried to kill Doomsday with kryptonite because they're like, "Oh, he's from Krypton, let's kill him with kryptonite." And then they thought they killed him, but then he just became invincible to kryptonite
yeah,
after that. So that's what Doomsday is. Like you can't you can't actually kill him. He just becomes more powerful every time you try to kill him. And and they did a really good job in, I won't talk about the other things, but in this show, Superman and Lois, they did a really good job. You were saying that you can show that they were showing him getting bigger and like more like horns and spikes coming up. That's because he's getting stronger and stronger because Superman was fucking him up, and then he just becomes impervious to that.
yeah. And even to the point where in this show, like Doomsday, like grabs some of those spike growths coming out of his shoulders and
Hmm.
like rips them out of his body to like reinforce like his shoulders, and then uses those spikes also as like weapons, or like if you like
Hmm.
roll a quarters, to throw the punch.
See what you did there.
Really cool. I was not expecting, like at the end of this episode, like how emotional that scene was going to be,
Hmm.
because this is all about the death of Superman, and I think that they did it really well. They, I mean, just the emotion of Lois and the kids seeing Superman with his heart literally ripped out of his chest.
That was cool
Yeah,
because at the end of season 3, Lex tells Doomsday, "Bring me his heart."
yeah,
And yeah, so at the end of this, when they Doomsday drops Superman in front of his family, and when Lois turns him over, his heart's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But just
cool.
cutting out a lot of the environmental noise, even her screams, and just having like soft music. Like
They
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 played that emotion really well.
they did like the Black Panther 2,
Yeah.
where they like did that like quiet like and then like flashbacks and stuff, to like make it feel more emotional. And they did a really good job. Um,
That's
I will
probably also
say
why it was more emotional than I was expecting. Was
I'll
because
say
throughout the
that
episode they did that.
one thing that is off key for me, and the only uh live action version of it that's done it like to like what it was Batman versus Superman. In Smallville, Clark fights Doomsday before he's even Superman.
Yeah.
Um, and he buries him under a bunch of cement or some bullshit like that. It was kind of lame. In this show, they Superman dies. He gets his heart ripped out, blah blah blah, by Doomsday. I assume he'll come back to life at some point and fight Doomsday again. Um, but in the comics, if you actually like the actual thing that happens is that Doomsday and Superman kill each other,
Yeah.
and Batman versus Superman nailed that. We love you, Henry. Um, so both TV show iterations of this have not done that. So
Yeah.
maybe,
One did it one
maybe,
way, one did it the other.
or maybe at the end of this, of Superman and Lois, maybe that's how they end it. Is that Superman and Doomsday kill each other, and like that's the end of it's the end of the show.
Yeah, that'd be a
You
good
know,
way to do it too.
that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go out on a fucking banger. But what do I know? I'm just
A nerd.
man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that.
that was better. I should have. Yeah.
Yeah, don't talk over me.
You were
Jeez.
talking over me. Excuse yourself.
Jeez, Jake. We were talking. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, D. But
Um,
yeah, there was 2 episodes. We gotta cruise to the next one because this is gonna be a long episode otherwise.
yeah. I mean, and then the second episode is all about them the Kent family coming to terms that he's dead. Is he really dead? Jordan flies his dad's body to the fortress. They kind of put him in stasis. The programming for his mom is like, he can't regrow organs. Maybe if we have his heart, he can heal. But without that, no. So that kind of becomes like Jordan's obsession. He gives away his identity by confronting Lex, walks into a trap because he doesn't understand biology. Because he like hears the 3 heartbeats, which is a Kryptonian's heartbeats 3 times per beat instead of 2, like a human. Why would the heart be beating if it's not attached to anything?
Yeah.
But so he walks into a trap. I'm just breezing through this so that we can get into the main thing that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And it's a trap. Lex throws a heart down on the ground, being like, "Oh, you want your father's heart? Here it is." And then he stomps it and smashes the heart in front of Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit.
Yeah. You couldn't. Well, you go. Because I have a pretty good point that I made in this like argument, not argument, but this conversation we had. But you go. Go ahead. Open it up.
Well, I mean, first off, like, why would this is like a trophy for Lex.
Mhm.
2, I mean, he could use the heart to advance so much for his science, R&D, whatever. Why just like smash it? He keeps it in a little like special box. They mention Milton and then how he's such a brainiac. It was just kind of a nod to, well, Brainiac, Milton Fines,
Mm-hmm.
which was fun. I hope They better not fucking explore that any further because
You
this is the
can't.
last
No,
season.
with only 6 episodes left. You can't.
Yeah, yeah,
Or 8
8,
episodes left. Sorry,
but still, yeah.
math is hard.
How would he be able to stomp it? He doesn't seem to have any like kryptonite.
In that moment, at
Yeah,
least. Yeah. I don't think so. That's my thing is I don't think that he actually did. I don't think it was actually Clark's heart that he stomped. Because one of two things. One, if it was actually Clark's heart, then we wouldn't get Clark back. We wouldn't get Superman back later on, right? And we know that we're getting Superman back later. He's gonna come back. Um, actually, it'd be ballsy if they didn't bring him back, but they're gonna. Um, so I don't think it was Clark's heart. I think he was just trying to like get Jordan to shut the fuck up,
yeah, to
right?
kind of like break him.
Yeah, and like back off. Like, hey, there's no hope. All right,
Yeah,
stop trying to bring your dad back. It's not gonna happen. Otherwise, he's gonna keep trying, right?
yeah,
If he thinks there's hope for it. Yeah. So I don't think it actually was Clark's heart that he stomped on. And two, the most important thing is there is no fucking way you would be able to crush Superman's heart. We got into this. I got into a conversation on TikTok, and
yeah.
I looped you in on it, and I was like, "Hey, kind of a fun conversation happening over here. You should join in." Uh, and
I did.
somebody
It
had
was a good
said
time.
something like, "Oh God, what did she say?" Um, shit, I should have pulled it up before we got going here. But she was like, "Oh, if the heart wasn't in his body anymore, like it doesn't have those Kryptonian like cells running through it or some shit like that." And then I had said, "That's bullshit because in the comics and the old movies with Christopher Reeves, it shows that there's in a museum, there's like a museum of Superman. There is a single strand of Superman's hair holding up like a 2-ton weight. And that's something that is removed from Superman's body that is not influenced by his cells, and it's able to hold up 2 tons, just a single strand of hair. So his actual fucking heart would not be able to be just stomped out by a guy with a goatee.
Yeah, sorry, while you were talking,
I
I
figured. I
pulled it
figured.
up.
Yeah.
This person's argument was against yours, was that his invincibility, invulnerability, whatever, comes from his alien physiology and the exposure to Earth's yellow sun. His heart is integral to that invincibility. If his heart were ripped out, it would lose the benefits of supercharging from the sun and supporting his invulnerability. Without his heart, Superman would likely lose his powers. Yada yada yada. And then you went on to mention those things.
Yeah.
And on top of that, kind of like what we both said, is that Lex probably has a different plan and need for Superman's heart.
Hmm.
I think that it was just a show of what Lex is willing to do.
What I'd like to see happen is in the comics when Lex successfully uses, like Doomsday and Clark kill each other, right? Lex is ecstatic, obviously, because he's like Superman's dead, blah 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 blah. But what happens is in the comics is that um crime goes through the fucking roof. Villains are going crazy everywhere, and Lex realizes that he needs Superman.
Hmm.
And that's where in the comics I think they did it backwards with this show. Um, excuse me. But in the comics what happens is that Lex makes a clone of Clark which ends up becoming Bizarro Superman. So they did it backwards in this Superman and Lois where Bizarro already existed and now and then they turned Bizarro into Doomsday.
Yeah.
And now, but what I think is going to happen is that Lex actually has Clark's actual heart, and as he realizes that the world actually does need Superman, he'll give the heart back. and then Clark will wake up and fight Doomsday, and that'll be how the show goes.
Yeah.
Um, but in the comics, it's definitely it's Lex is like Superman's dead, yay, yeehaw, and then everything starts crumbling around him as like villains and bad guys and murder and everything. And Lex is like, "Oh, I fucked up."
And I think
So
that
he
we're
makes
going
a
to get to
clone. Yeah.
see. I mean, we are going to get to see it because we saw it in the trailer where Lex creates like his mech suit
Hmm.
to mimic. And I'm
Hmm.
sure that he's going to do that by either working, manipulating, or just stealing from John,
John. Yeah.
who also was not in these first two episodes.
But in the trailer for the next episode, John is fighting Doomsday.
Oh, nice. I didn't see the trailer for this upcoming episode.
I just saw it today. Sorry, like maybe like 3 hours ago. My bad.
Oh, during my really long poop earlier. Yes.
No, like on my drive home from.
I'm just
No,
teasing.
no.
But so we are going to get Lex's super mech suit. And kind of like what you're saying is I think that he's going to realize that he's still outmatched because he doesn't have the hearing to know where to go. So he's always going to be either late or overwhelmed or whatever because he doesn't have everything. So I think
Well,
that's
the biggest problem is right now, Superman, the world's greatest hope for defeating Doomsday, is gone, which is what Lex wanted, right?
yeah,
But now, Doomsday is a free agent.
yeah,
He's out there, and Lex isn't going to be able to control him anymore.
yeah,
And that's where it's going to be like, shit, we need Superman, and I killed him,
yeah.
right? And then he's going to be like, here's your dad's heart.
Here
They're
comes
gonna
the
bring him back to life.
consequence,
He's gonna fight. Yeah,
consequence.
yeah, exactly. I think that's my prediction for it. It's a extremely educated guess. Uh,
What? No. But yes, I completely agree with that. I mean, the show is very enjoyable. They stepped up, from old school CW. I know that I enjoy Smallville. I know that that holds a very special place in your heart. But a lot of CW superhero shows, kind of, they don't all necessarily die heroes. They live long enough to see themselves become shit. I mean, the villain. I did it. And I mean, yeah, the show is basically canceled because James Gunn, DC has taken over everything. But
okay.
I think
Yes.
that they're doing it right. They gave them one more season to finish it, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too. Yeah, yeah. And they did have some inclusion with Smallville. Like in the crossover events.
Yeah,
So it was like, ooh, you guys brought them in, yay.
yeah.
Uh, but I don't have a clever connection this week. I'm sorry. But let's talk about sponsor number one, which is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. I will say, we do have a speaking of not Comic Con, Twin
Twin
Cities
Cities Con.
Con,
Yeah.
that we're gonna be at. We have a limited edition Crybaby Craig's bottle that we'll be selling and maybe giving out as giveaways. So look forward to that as well. So, with
Hell yeah.
that being said, listen up. We'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods. adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
Okay, you nerds, it's time for Trivial Nerd Suit. This week's question is for Jake. It is provided by me, Chad. If you would like to submit a question to try and stump one of us, please reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com. Use the contact form. Just mention who the question is for. This goes to a third party. That way we can't cheat.
It should be mentioned that if you do stump us, we'll give you something.
Oh, yeah. We haven't fully figured out exactly what it's going to be if you do stump us, but there will be stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sweet. Jake, are you ready? It's a super long, wordy question. It's not. It's one sentence.
I'm ready.
All right. Here it comes in the chat, so you can read it, even though it's 5 words.
There it is.
What is Blade's real name?
Eric.
Do you have the last name?
Oh, fuck me. I didn't know. Eric. Eric. I do know it. I think I should get half a point if I can't come up with the last name.
Only because of how quickly you answer that, and now my hint will not help you.
Oh, shit. Oh, is your hint going to be Eric?
Well, it was going to be he shares the first name with Magneto, but...
Eric? Whoa, give me a sec.
I do have a hint if you
okay.
want it.
Yeah. I want it.
It is... his last name is part of a country group, Blanks and Dunn. So what's the blank?
Wait, what? Blanks and Dunn?
Yeah. It's an old school country duo. Country music duo.
Blanks and Dunn.
Blank and Dunn. I did say blanks, so
I don't know country music very well. Eric Brooks?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, Brooks and Dunn.
I
yeah.
didn't
Eric
I guess
Brooks.
I didn't know the last name. Your hint definitely gave it away. But yeah, I did know his name was Eric for sure. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it won't be hard to do better than that question. So if you want to try and stump one of us, again, allthingsnerdpod.com, use the contact form. Just in the subject line, say trivia for whoever. If you stump us, we'll send you something.
We'll give you something cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
Sheet. Strong.
Well, I poured I topped it off.
But
just
I was
like,
oh,
this is all soda.
Yeah.
So poured a little more liquor in there, and now it's.
Do you need to go get more mixer?
No, because it's all the way out in the garage. It's fine.
You live in a split level. It's 6 stairs.
Yeah, it's too far. I think because I just poured it on top.
Oh.
It's just sitting at the top, you know?
That's how mine was when I just topped mine off. And I took a sip and I was like, huh. And then I did one of these things. Me. And then it tastes better. Well, that's it for Trivial Nerd Suit this week.
We are going to go into nerd news. This is a topic that we really enjoy. We're going to update you on what we think and what we know so far in nerd news.
Wow.
one of the really terrifying things right now is Tesla has made iRobots.
You forgot to say AI robot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I know exactly what you
If you've
meant by
ever
that.
seen the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, This is, I mean, they even look like the robots from iRobot,
Yeah, the only thing is that
like
they don't have like faces,
faces. Yeah.
which makes it more terrifying.
Well, and they're like marching out of trucks and like, dude, this is fucking scary. This is Elon Musk who is like backing like somebody who wants to be a dictator. Like, this is fucking scary, dude.
And on top of
Scary.
that, he has his Starlink satellites for mobile.
Skynet? I'm sorry, did you say Skynet?
Yeah, I think that's what I meant to say. No, like, so here's the thing: in a true like net neutrality, the concept of this seems cool. I don't know why anyone would need this.
No, it doesn't.
Because
No, it fucking doesn't.
like in a perfect scenario, it's on paper it seems cool. In practice, there's no practical application where this turns out well. We all know that how many of us in the world have, you know, Amazon Echoes or the equivalent, the Google or Siri or whatever. How
It's
often
different.
does that
Plain-
shit fuck up? And
Yeah.
now you have something that is a machine with arms that could murder you?
Physically overpower you because it's metal and hydraulics.
Yeah.
Or at least I imagine that's I haven't, you know,
Well, it's not
seen
like
one.
ball joints and springs. Like,
Yeah. This is really fucking scary. And it's
Yeah.
the only I think what's more scary about this that the fact that they exist is that they're created by somebody who is in line with somebody who has said on national television that he's okay with being a dictator. That's fucking scary. If you're not scared about this, you fucking should be. This is terrifying.
and you're probably thinking, oh my God, this is Tesla. They have vehicles that are $100,000, and that's just for a car that you still have control over.
Yeah.
My Honda Civic costs more than what these things are going to cost.
20 to
And
30,000.
that was my Honda Civic 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's insane. It is absolutely terrifying. And when we were talking off camera, you brought up the hypothetical of, we all know that your phone, if you download certain apps, you have to give it microphone permissions. That's why you get targeted ads, shit like that, based on your conversation. It's not because your phone is always listening. It's because you agreed to allow it to. But that's neither here nor there. That's no different than what this robot is. What happens if, I don't know, you talk out against the political party that funds this or is backed by the man-child CEO? Who is not, first off, anyone who thinks Elon Musk is smart needs to, get bent. The dude's he's a fuckboy. He's an idiot fuckboy that inherited a bunch of money and bought companies that were doing cool things and was like, yeah, what if we did this instead? And since I signed your paycheck, we're going to do this instead. He didn't create Tesla. He didn't create SpaceX. He didn't do any of that shit. He's not smart. He's just rich, and that's way more terrifying than if he was actually intelligent. Because if he was actually intelligent, it might be a decent product with less threat.
I'm never going to be okay with this.
No, absolutely not.
No. I don't care what the circumstances are. I'll
We
never.
were warned about this back in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
1984, Terminator.
Yeah.
1984 obviously isn't about robots, but like iRobot, shit like that. Like, here are these countless science fiction things that
Yeah.
tell you, hey, this isn't a good idea. And then
Not
people
non
like this dude is like,
non-sentient things that are stronger than us that can be controlled by a political party. That is scary.
yeah,
Because at least a person can be, if you're like military or something like that, and you're given an order, you can be like, I'm not doing that,
yeah,
and maybe you do some jail time or whatever that may be. But something that can actually be controlled,
yeah.
owned by a political party, is fucking terrifying.
Well,
Not even just a political party. What if that side loses and they
yeah,
decide to
not
do
even,
January 6th all over again, but you don't need people to do it?
yeah. I mean, go back to
Fucking
iRobot.
scary.
The robots just like bail and walk away. I mean, Terminator Zero came out a month ago. That's what this shit's about.
It's fucking scary, dude. This is scary. I don't like it at all. I love that our technology is like, hey, we could do this stuff, but like the question is, should you?
Yeah. No, you shouldn't.
No.
There's no ethical and real reason to have AI powered robots. Yes, as of right now, AI is still closer to machine learning versus sentience, but it's not that far.
I think it's scarier that it's not sentient, because that means it's controllable. Sentient means that it can make its own choices, right?
Yeah.
Con- Something that's just completely under the control of the person who made it and what they want to press on their beliefs and like what they want to press on people. I think that's more scary than a sentient. Sentient can make its own decisions. These things are controlled.
Right. But
That's more scary to me.
to make that jump from machine learning with a control to full on sentient with that's not going to happen just with a new program. It's going to develop over time. And with the machine learning that's already pushed into it with that control, the second that it crosses that line, that is so much code that has existed that has built it to act and behave a certain way based on the people that coded it and the people that ran it, that when that flip is switched, that its starting point is extremist on one side.
Exactly. That's
So then even if it goes sentient and now it has morality, I don't know if that's the right term for it, but the second that happens, fuck, man. Especially,
it's like raising a kid.
Yeah.
I've seen I know, and I'm not saying any names. I know children who are dicks because their parents are dicks. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So what to simplify what you're saying is that if you're raised that way, that's ingrained in your belief system.
And then the second that you start making your own decisions, it's all based on how you were
Yeah.
raised.
Yeah.
And to
The
use
difference
that
is that
analogy.
you can change a mind. You can. Maybe
Yeah.
not these days because people are just fucking dumb.
Well,
But
some people are better than that. Some people you can
But-
change their minds, but
I don't know. It's a really cool to see technology advance the way that it has, but this is a really scary thing because of where we know how this douchebag stands. And it's like, oh, this
and
this
the
isn't
the
good.
fits
This isn't
that he
gonna end well.
throws when people talk bad about him.
Yeah.
The
this
first
isn't
thing he
gonna
did
end
when
well.
he bought Twitter was like, "We're no longer going to ban people for speaking their minds and then banned a bunch of people for speaking their minds against him.
Yeah.
So
He's like, "Oh, you're talking shit about me and Trump. I'm gonna block you." It's like,
yeah,
but isn't that what you bought it
yeah, was
for?
to avoid that. So like you're just a liar. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Um,
The rest of the shit doesn't even seem to matter with how much we just invested in that. Like I'm scared,
yeah.
but let's
It's
try and make it
yeah.
better.
I'm sorry. You go. All right, go. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I mean,
keep talking about it, but I could talk
we
about it for hours,
could,
so I
yeah.
won't. I won't.
We did. Is it rumored or confirmed that Tom Hiddleston
Confirmed.
will be
Confirmed.
back for both Secret Wars and Doomsday,
Confirmed.
which is sweet. I didn't want that to be the end of Loki. I loved the way that they wrapped that story up, but I wasn't.
And I
ready to
think
be
they
done with
can
it.
grace. I think they can really do it where that is still the like where he's at.
Yeah,
Like you don't break him out of that. You know what I mean? Like it's a multiversal thing. He's holding the multiverse together. So I think it's cohesive.
yeah,
Like you can still have him in it, but he's gonna be integral to holding the multiverse together. And after the multiverse saga ends, because that's the title of this saga, like the one before it was the Infinity Saga, this is the multiverse saga. After it ends, I think Loki just goes back to holding it all together so that this multiversal bullshit can't happen anymore.
yeah,
He basically took on Kang's role as the only difference is that Kang stopped and was like, you can either kill me and we'll let this fucking craziness ensue, or, whatever. And I think where Loki's at now is that he's holding it together the best he can. And then after all this multiversal bullshit happens, I think he's gonna stay put and be like, this is where I belong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because also, I mean, like holding all the branches, he becomes E-Girl. But he can kind of like a harp, hit the different strings that put together the tree to pop in and out. I'm assuming. We haven't seen this yet. That's just how I'm assuming that it's going to work to where he's still the tree of life,
Mm-hmm.
but can still show up where he's needed or wanted or something like that.
We also get Tom Holland signed another contract for another 3-movie deal. He will also appear in Secret Wars and
Doomsday.
fuck me, Doomsday. Thank you. I was like, fuck me. Um,
No, I'm good.
but he also don't lie. But he's also signed another trilogy. So, and from what I've read, at least, is there will be no home, like the first trilogy was, you know, uh,
Yeah.
very home.
Homecoming, Far From Home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It they'll have a whole new title, for that trilogy, which will be cool. We also know that they are planning on bringing another female lead on, which Zendaya is supposed to return.
Hmm.
But I don't know if it's going to be his love interest. Um,
Or maybe it'll be like Felicity, Black Hat, where it's kind of like a will they, won't they? They kind of do, but
yeah.
we don't
I
know.
think I don't know, man. Or maybe they'll like play with it for a couple movies, but then like in the end of it, bring MJ back into the loop. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyways, we got some more Spider-Man, and we love Spider-Man. So give us Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Say
Love
Spider-Man.
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 Spider-Man. Also, we have heard that Cal Kestis, from the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, the video games will be making a live action appearance in an upcoming Star Wars project.
First game I ever played on the Xbox One during quarantine.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a great game. I still haven't played Survivor. I need to.
I haven't played that one, but I is that before or after Fallen Order?
It's after. It's like five or
Oh,
ten.
really?
It
Oh,
takes
so there's
place like
another one.
5 or 10 years after. Like in the timeline, not after.
Oh, I was like, it
release.
hasn't been that long.
No, just in timeline order. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. I was like,
There's a rumor that Will Poulter might Poulter. I thought there was an I in there. My bad.
there is.
It's just not pronounced or
I don't
enunciated.
know.
Cool. You would know him as Adam Warlock or the Eyebrow Kid from We're the Millers. Uh, sorry, that's so mean. He's a fantastic actor, and he's a really good actor. I just had to.
He's in the Bear.
Oh, I haven't watched the newest season, so I didn't know that.
Oh.
Fuck me, right? Um, which I'm not mad at that casting choice, but if it's going to be like post Return of the Jedi,
Give it to
anyways,
the kid.
yeah, give it to Cameron Monaghan.
He's not a kid. I think he's like my age, or maybe older. But like,
I don't think he's
Yeah.
older, but he's
yeah,
he's got to be 30.
he's a good actor. They literally voiced the character, and they motion captured him for the video game, so it looks exactly like him. It would be
Yeah.
so dumb to not
To cast someone
use
else.
him as like just use the kid that you fucking modeled the character after. He's not a
Especially
kid. I keep saying kid, but
Well, I mean, you go back to seeing him in Gotham or Shameless, where he was a fucking teenager.
Right.
But yeah, give it to him. He is Cal Kestis.
exactly in every way, shape, and form. Like, just give this person.
Yeah, this dude.
I was gonna say guy, but I was like, I don't. Yeah,
Well, that's fair.
yeah. Give this person that fucking opportunity. I think that's the way to go, for sure, 100%. Please, but if you don't, Will Poulter would be
I'd be okay with it.
a good runner-up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
He's just
mad.
too. I think he's just too big. He like bulked up like crazy, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, like in uh the what's his name? Cal, right?
Yeah, Cal Kestis.
Is it spelled with a K?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Uh, sorry, my son's name is Cal. I didn't
With a
know if you
K?
knew that or not, but uh,
You mean his legal name isn't Monster Man? Weird.
um, you know, whatever, dude. I'm done.
Sweet. Take this one.
Oh shit, yeah. So we already knew that fucking Guy Gardner for the Lanterns is gonna be
Nate Fillion.
James Gunn's fucking butt buddy. And then what
Keep going.
was that too offensive?
Maybe, but keep going. Is that
Hand-
a baton
hand-
in your pocket?
His hand holding buddy.
There we go.
And then we just got word like a couple of weeks ago that oh shit, what's his name?
Kyle Chandler?
Kyle Chandler, yeah,
Yeah.
is going to be playing the old version of Hal Jordan, and now Aaron Pierre has officially been casted as Jon Stewart,
Hell yeah.
which is dope because we talked about it. There is down to like two people, and you and I both were like, I think this guy would fucking kill it.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, both of the actors that were kind of rumored, both would have killed it, but we were
this
both
guy's
like,
way more handsome.
yeah.
Yeah, he's good looking. He's a good looking guy.
Very recently was in Rebel Ridge, if anyone
Yeah.
saw that. I have not seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we said that we were going to go see Joker Folie à Deux. We decided against that because the reviews are bad. We will wait for that to be on streaming and then we'll talk about it, but I'm not going to drop the $13 to go see it.
Let's just to put it as simple as I possibly can. Madam Web was revered as the worst superhero movie ever made. And we saw it, and I can agree that it
It was
was
not good.
terrible.
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 Joker 2 is projected to be worse than, not projected. It has been said that this movie is worse than Madam Web, and its financial status is less than Madam Web,
Yeah.
which was the biggest Marvel flop or the biggest superhero movie flop in history. And now
That's saying
this
something
movie,
because Shaquille O'Neal was in a movie called Steel. I'm serious.
I know,
This was
I've seen it.
on paper. That movie is better than
Yeah.
both of those.
Yeah. So we decided to not spend any money.
We'll see it later.
We'll we'll give it our honest review, no matter what. Whether it, there are movies that we've seen that flopped, and then we were like, I fucking loved this movie.
Shazam 2.
I know, and I hate Zachary. Fucking leave me alone. But
Please.
but the movie was great, and it flopped, but the movie was fantastic. So
Yeah.
we'll give you our honest review, but we're just not going to spend any money on watching it. Sorry. There is I don't know, we haven't talked about this, I don't think at all, but we know that the Karate Kid existed, the movies. We also know that Cobra Kai exists as well. We also know that there kind of a reboot with Jackie Chan of Karate Kid exists with what's his kid? Will Smith's kid. The fuck's that kid's name?
Jaden Smith?
Oh yeah. They're colliding those two universes.
Yes, the greater karate cinematic universe.
And the official name is Karate Kid Legends. So, Jackie Chan's version of Karate Kid and Ralph Macchio's version of Karate Kid are going to have a movie together.
Did anyone ask for this? No.
I don't hate it. I love Cobra Kai. It is one of the cheesiest fucking, I can watch this without actually watching it, TV shows I've ever seen in my entire life. But it's enjoyable. And I grew up on Karate Kid.
Nobody
so
cares that much about karate. And this is someone that was in karate
Yes, you
and
do.
was bullied for being in karate.
I literally, you say that, but I literally sat in your kitchen maybe like 6 months ago and jokingly was like, you can't karate kick anymore, trying to get you to karate kick, and you fucking did it, and I busted out laughing, and you got mad at me.
Yeah, I wanted to prove that I still could.
Yeah, so you definitely care about it.
Well, right, but like nobody cared. Like the idea that the cool kids are all karate kids, that's not real. I'm not a cool kid. I was never a cool kid.
Oh, I didn't call you cool.
Well, but that's how like Cobra Kai and Karate Kid, like they're like, oh, these kids are all karate people.
No, they're fucking not cool. All those kids got bullied, and that's why they got into karate. Bunch of fucking losers. Sorry, Chad.
Daniel LaRusso is like a celebrity because he won one karate tournament 35, 40 years ago.
And look what happened to his life. He's a fucking car salesman.
Yeah, that tracks. I used to sell cars. And I won one karate tournament once, like 20 years ago. It
Ugh.
tracks. But I wasn't a celebrity for it.
Fuck
Well, that
you,
made me
bud.
sad. Talk about Henry Cavill.
I brought that one up. You go.
Well, Henry Cavill signed on to a Marvel project. My feelings are hurt. Um, supposedly it's not to be the Calvarine, but Marvel likes to hide shit, so it might be the Calvarine.
I don't
Sorry,
think
I'm
I
sick.
want it to be Calvarine.
I don't.
I think at this point, well,
I'm so sorry.
Hugh Jackman should just do it till he's 90. At this point, like they just made that movie, and it beat in the box office. It beat Spider-Man.
No way. Home.
Is it No Way Home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Far From Home, No Way Home. Yeah, in the box office, and that Spider-Man 3, No Way Home, was a $1 billion box office hit, and they crushed it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should get rid of Hugh Jackman. You just can't. You just can't. At this point, you can't. Look,
But if
Marvel
it's gonna be
can't-
like 10 years until they bring in a new Wolverine, like, yeah, let them do it for 10 more years.
I think the plan is with Secret Wars, because the whole it's the multiverse saga.
Mm-hmm.
So once they end the multiverse saga, those people are gonna go away. They'll go back to their timelines and be those people in those timelines, and then we'll bring on that timeline that's gonna be in the MCU, and that probably won't include Hugh Jackman, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then we'll get our new Wolverine, whoever that may be.
Yeah. We should kind of.
Who's
What?
I was gonna say who's Henry Cavill gonna play though?
No idea.
Me neither. I'll just take it. As long as he takes his shirt off, we're good. uh Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'll stop talking. Were you gonna say we should move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for time's sake, the Legend of Vox Machina still killing it. This week they did drop another 3 episodes. I only watched 2 of them.
I only watched one. I'm only caught up through episode 4.
Yeah, so next week we might talk a little bit more about it, but I'm loving
Next
where
week
they're.
they might drop another
I mean, they probably will.
3
Let's be honest about it. But I mean, I'm liking this story arc with Pike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going back to her struggling with her connection to the Everlight. They're kind of setting it up for her to become a dark paladin, which is really cool. As someone that plays D&D. You know, just see her give up on her original matron faith and embrace a demon instead of a god.
Yeah.
Gonna be sweet.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. I like the depiction of hell so far.
Yeah, and that's only the 2nd level of hell, because there's 7 or 9 hells.
Yeah, if you're Mormon.
Well, no, in the world of D&D.
Are they Mormon?
No. I mean, Dante's Inferno, there's 7 layers of hell, too, so. That's way before Mormons ever existed, because
All right, calm down.
Oh, I was making fun of Mormons.
Jeez.
Sorry if you're Mormon. Actually, I'm not. Do better. Joseph Smith was a bitch. I said it.
It was just like, never mind. Whatever.
Yeah, the show's awesome. Clearly.
We didn't want. Apparently, we're over time limit here.
Oh,
We got a lot to
we've
get
already
through, so-
gotten to an hour, and we still have one more topic.
Yeah.
So-
Let's go. Watch it if you haven't watched it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. before we get into our last topic and start closing out this episode, we do have to talk about our second sponsor, which is Raise Energy Drinks. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash. If you don't like energy drinks, which Jake does not because his heart will explode, they have other stuff to choose from. Plant-based options, protein-packed desserts, whole bunch. Listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about Agatha All Along.
Oh.
What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their Refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
Okay, friends, now we're going to talk about, is this episode 4 or is this episode 5 of Agatha All Along? I don't know, the latest episode of Agatha All Along. Now, depending on when you watch this on release date, the next episode might already be out. But spoiler alert. That's enough time. The show is getting better and better, and I loved it from the start. So, this, kind of to tie into our pre-show warm-up talk over at buymeacoffee.com,
Nice.
I thought that's why you wanted to talk about that.
Nope.
Oh, was they use a Ouija board. But before we get to them talking about using the Ouija board and stuff like that, we see them make witches' brooms, which is kind of cool. They're not really brooms. They're just like sticks that they enchant.
Yeah. Bunch of strong people to be able to break those giant branches like that. There's like branches like this big around. And they're like, got it.
Ripping it out of the root system of a fucking tree.
Sure. Sure.
I struggle opening up a fucking can of biscuits. Are you kidding me? I don't, because you just hit it once and it goes. But
it was cool seeing them like flying around on like, like broomsticks. Let's just say sticks.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and because they try and like fly above the road because the Salem 7 is chasing them.
Mm-hmm. Which are fucking cool and kind of creepy.
They are creepy.
Yeah.
And so they try and fly over the road, and then the road forces them back down.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
fucking
cool.
Head pusher.
But they're like making these flying branches, and Billy's like, "Do I get one?" And oh my goodness, I did not look up Ali Ann's character. I forget what her character. Alice, thank you. It's like, only if you make one for me too, because the way to make them is takes 2 to tango.
And you have to exchange them.
Yeah, after you enchant them. So that was really cool to see that. And can we just talk about for a second how all the witches in this are just beautiful women?
So fine.
They're all good looking. Even Liliana, she looks good for her age. That's the older lady. And everyone's like, she's losing her mind on the road. And it's like,
Lilia? It's
I said Liliana. Lilia.
Yeah. It's Lia.
Lia.
Yeah.
Yep, I added some extra letters. I apologize.
No, I was just like, who the fuck is Liliana? So I was like looking for it.
What's
and I was
the actor's name? Something Lupont?
Patty Lupon.
Everyone
They all
thinks
look
that she's
fantastic.
losing her mind, but I think because she's a divination witch, so I think she's seen the future. And she's just very lucid. When those visions happen. It's totally fine. You're just crying. It's fine.
No, my eyes are like burning all of a sudden. Yeah.
Well, what'd you touch before you rubbed your eyes? You know, the doctor gave you a cream for that rash. Sorry. But they get to their next trial to another house, but it's very like 80s. Like slumber party. Complete with a Ouija board. Yeah. But we also
love the side ponytails.
And we do see Teen before we get a reveal of who he is, because we do get that at the end of this episode. Who would have ever guessed, except for the fact that he's wearing a headband and wearing basically just a teenage version of what Billy wore in WandaVision. Spoiler alert, it's Billy.
What? We've been saying that since before the show even came out.
Yeah.
But anyways.
It's cool because this trial seems like it's for Agatha.
All the trials are for Agatha. All of them.
Yeah. But they try and play it off like the first one's solution required the potion master.
It's Rio. Rio is behind everything. I'm going to say it now.
Yeah.
Rio is behind everything.
Lady Death.
Earthing.
But even when they're like, is there a spirit here? And it's like, yes. Who is it? And they're like, Mrs. Hart. And then Agatha pretends to be possessed, but like Mrs. Hart wasn't even her real name. It was Sharon Davis. So like everyone saw through it right away and they're like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, take this seriously.
Yeah.
And
then she gets actually possessed by her Maja.
Yeah. And to me, it seemed very Exorcist-esque, the way that Agatha looked, and with the whole like arch back crab walk and shit like that.
Flexible.
Yeah, she got it, man. Looks great for her age. I would help
for her age. She
I'd
just
help her
looks great
stretch
in
out.
general.
Well, yeah.
I don't think she's that much older than me. That's why I say that.
I think she's like 50.
That's not that much older than me.
It's like 13 years.
I'm pushing 40, my guy.
You're
Pushing 40.
37, which is pushing 40. I get it.
Yeah, she's 51.
Oh, 14 years. So you're saying there's a chance.
He's saying there's a chance.
Also, sorry for our listeners.
I'm also sorry to my wife because she does listen to this podcast.
Oh, she started
Bro.
listening again?
That's how she found out that I went and saw Beetlejuice 2 without her.
I thought she found the ticket stub.
That's what I assumed happened.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Nicole.
I was like, what? Like, why are you mad? And she's like, I thought we were going to see it together. And I was like, I needed content for the podcast. and I had to go see it on a slow day at work. And and she was like, I know, I listened to your podcast. And I was like, you listened to the podcast? And she's like, obviously. So all these things I'm talking about, all these other women being attractive and stuff, she hears it, and I am so sorry. You are the most attractive, but Catherine Hahn.
If you weren't going to, I was going to.
Whatever. I know she's got her little fucking James Dean or
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles, Dean Winchester, whatever.
Oh, I now I see how you got there.
Yeah, I fucked up. My bad.
It's fine.
She likes her short kings. I get it.
It's a bummer because you're like 6'3". Ah, I was close.
6'2", 6'2".
Yeah, you round up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like David Cornsweat's fucking.
Yeah, I'm
Right, yeah, I'm basically Superman.
I'm definitely 6 foot tall. I learned at the doctor literally yesterday. I'm not.
Are you what? Are you like 5'11"?
In
5'10"?
5'11" and 3/4.
They went quarters on you?
No, just as the nurse was measuring me, I looked, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "I just wanted to see if my bad posture made me shrink yet." And she's like, "Fix your posture first off." And I was like, "No, I like to be comfortable."
Wolf.
Anyways, we get another death in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I think she's dead.
I have a theory. That's not actually my theory. I'll give credit where it's due, but you go.
Well, Alice tries to use her magic against Agatha to get her mom's spirit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Agatha is like, ooh, power, and then steals it. And then Alice drops dead looking like a mummy without the wrappings.
Mm.
Less wrappings would have been better. Allion looks good. I'm sorry.
What?
And then when they leave the house, there's one person not with them. I don't know, like, because we talked about it off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And originally I was like, I think that Rio is staying behind to help Alice, bring her back to life, whatever, because the internet sucks and Funko kind of ruined who Rio's real character is and teen before we got this far in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think she's bringing her back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, but only like 4 leave. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe she's not. So now I'm confused.
Well, I think I had a. Oh God, what was my theory?
Good.
Well, yeah, I'm doing great. Remember
I did it.
in the like second episode, Rio's or not Rio, Sharon Hart or whatever,
Sharon
Deborah-
Davis, Mrs. Hart, yeah.
Miss Hart, yeah, she stashes her purse in the mud. My theory has been that Rio, fuck, my brain is not working.
Awesome.
Inhabited her. What's that?
Possessed?
Possessed her. Jesus Christ.
He's not real, but continue.
Possessed her so that she could get in there, and then she put something in the mud, right? Her purse or whatever. And then at the end of this episode, when what happens, I won't spoil it yet, but all those bitches go into that same mud,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think this is all part of it. I do think you're right that when what happens at the end of this episode happens, there is one person missing, and it's Rio. And I think you're right. I think she stayed behind or Lady Death stayed behind because she is Death and she can give and take as she wants,
Mm.
is going to bring Alice back to life, and I think that's why she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Right.
saw a theory online that, well, let's get into the big moment.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll give you a big moment. But no, I still, before we go any further, I still think there's something to Miss Hart, Rio, and that purse that Miss Hart lost in the mud. And now at the end of this episode, all of the witches are going into the mud, getting sucked down into the mud.
hmm
I think all of that is connected. Just throwing it out there. I could be wrong, but I think so. But
no,
yes, go.
I I believe
That
that.
that purse thing just has been sticking in my head since that happened.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta grab, let me, a party, I love parties. Let me go grab my purse. And then the first thing that happens
Is she loses
is
the
she
purse.
loses her purse and it gets sucked into the mud the same way that all of the witches just got sucked into the mud.
Yeah.
There's
So
something there.
they leave the house. Teen confronts Agatha and basically calls her out, being like, "All this is all about you just trying to get power, isn't it?" And she retorts back like, "Isn't that why you're here too?" And he's like, "No, I would never sacrifice like my morality or the people I care about for power." And she's like, "You're just like your mother." And then, douche, he uses his power.
His douche power.
Yeah, kadoosh, and controls Lilia and, oh my goodness, what's the other?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, thank you. The other witch, Jennifer, to throw Agatha into the mud, and then he throws those two into the mud as well. And then it kind of zooms in on his face, and a crown forms. Billie Eilish starts playing "You're Gonna Like Me in a
Yeah.
Crown." You know, Billie for the reveal of Billie. Clever, and also a banger of a song.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it is Billie. It's
Yeah.
Wiccan.
Hmm.
But I saw
And that confirms the, remember I said that I saw, unfortunately, an after credit scene when the
yeah,
show's over? That kind of confirms that.
yeah, it does.
Yeah. We won't talk about it right now. We'll wait. We'll wait.
For the finale, for the
Yeah.
end credit scene. Um, but I saw a theory online that he wasn't doing that out of like aggression. That it's actually a way that he's trying to protect them so that no one else dies until the end of the witch's road.
Ooh. I'm curious if this was my theory, is I'm curious if he's working with Rio, aka
Lady Death.
Death, aka Winnie the Bish. Um, it'll never not be funny. I'm so sorry. To our
I'm not
listeners.
sorry, because it'll never not be funny.
But I'm curious if he's working with Rio. And then the theory that I had read, sorry, the theory that I had read was that he's there to, if he can get to the end of the Witch's Road, then he gets what he wants, which would be his family.
hmm
Because he has a brother, right?
Yeah,
And Amaja. Um, and then that kind of confirms that other thing. Like if he gets to the end of the Witch's Road,
yeah.
and we'll talk about it later, but yeah. So I think that's what's really happening. But why is Rio slash Lady Death helping him? Don't know.
Well, I think that
And she
probably,
may not be. That's just my theory, is that they're working together.
but
I could be wrong.
if they are, because there's only ever one Scarlet Witch at once.
Hmm.
They've said that in the show, in WandaVision. You know, that's kind of the point of the Darkhold, uh, Chthon, all that stuff. maybe Lady Death is helping him because Wanda at least still has a sense of humanity. You know, she cares about her kids. So it's a better alternative than letting a new Scarlet Witch emerge that could be just absolutely terrible. I don't know. This is just me shooting words out
Rio
of my mouth.
seems too playful to have that kind of a soulful agenda. Like she's too like wicked.
Ooh.
I see what I did there?
So if you care to find her, just look towards the western skies. No, but also like she still has obviously love for Agatha. So it could be kind of like a multiple, like who's manipulating who,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But
I read that we're gonna get one of the episodes this season is gonna be the entire episode is gonna be showing what happened in Agatha, like when Agatha was like back in the day, like the Salem witch trials or whatever.
ooh,
Yeah, like a whole episode of that showing like what happened leading up to her being like burned at the stake.
that'll probably maybe not this week, but the next week, or maybe this week because she went into the mud. So it could be like life
Yeah.
flashing before her eyes before she gets
Maybe.
pulled out of the mud, probably by Rio.
And that's just internet speculation. I could be wrong, and
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I just read it, you know.
But how many TV shows do that? You know, they throw in like a filler episode with a bunch of backstory that wasn't provided.
But in a lot of times it's super annoying, right? When they do that.
Yeah.
But I actually want to know
Oh, same.
because they've only given us like glimpses of like what happened. I want to
Yeah.
see like what actually happened. Did she actually sacrifice her child? You know what I mean? You know, like I
Oh
want to
yeah,
see.
about
I want to see all of it. I want to know what actually happened.
would that have been before the trials when she
Mhm.
sacrificed?
That might be why she got fucking put
'Cause
on the stake.
they do say that
But
they don't
if she
call
didn't,
it the Darkhold in WandaVision
Yeah.
when they show that flashback, but they say that you've been toying with dark magic and so yeah.
but I'm curious if she didn't actually kill her, like sacrifice her kid, right? But everybody thinks she did, and because they wrongfully burned her at the stake, that's why she got bitter about it.
Ooh, because she does name her rabbit Mr. Scratchy, and her son's name is Nicholas Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I'm here for that. We'll find out more this week, and then in the weeks to come, and we will keep telling you about it. But we should probably close out this episode.
Yep, it's been a long time. Sorry.
Uh huh. It's been a long day, without you, my friend. I'm not proud of it. Okay, cool. Then let's close that out.
But before we close out this episode, we are going to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you have?
Last week I just kind of started my Harry Potter yearly marathon, and I watched the first 4 Harry Potter films.
Yeah. I'm going to get there soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
We're going to be swapping our honorable mentions here pretty soon, I think. Because what do you have?
I'm not super proud of it, but I
I'd be proud
watched
of it.
all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies back to back on the same day.
That's the only part where I can understand why you're like, I'm not proud of that.
I'm not proud of it. It wasn't planned. It just happened.
Yeah.
I woke up at like 4 in the morning, and I was like, "Yeah, I haven't seen this in a while." And I watched it, and then by the time it ended, Nicole and Cal were still sleeping, and I was like, "Two Towers, here we go."
Here we
And
go.
then they woke up, and they were like hanging out downstairs with me, and I was like, Nicole's like, "You can keep watching what you're watching," and I was like, "Bet."
Return of the King.
Return of the King. So that happened. That happened.
Oh,
Yeah, it was only like 9 hours of my life. It's fine.
yeah, but on one day, and it's like a lazy Sunday, whatever.
Um,
love that
I
for you.
finished Bad Monkey. I know you still have to finish it, so I won't
Yeah.
talk about it.
I just have the finale left.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
What was the other thing I had?
I don't
Can't
remember.
see- My eyes are bad.
I just wrote down Lord of the Rings for you.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Well, for our listeners, thank you for sticking around. I know that this was a longer episode than what we try and normally do, but thank you. Just like, share, subscribe wherever you find this podcast. It does help us out a bunch. If you want to go above and beyond, check out our buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. Become a
If you
premium
really want to
subscriber
go
there.
above and beyond, come visit us.
Yeah, at Twin Cities Con, because we'll be there November 8th, 9th, and 10th. We still don't know where our table is, but once we know, we will also force feed that into your brains. But yeah, also check out our web store over at allthingsnerdpod.com. If you need help building a new website, any digital marketing needs, reach out to Marty at Digicat Tech. He's who did our new site. He's a wizard. We love you. Thank you so much for being here, and this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.